a few bigger companies actually got caught doing that. None of the big flashlight companies. I'm not shitting on. I mean, I am shitting on someone specific, but I'm not thinking about like Surefire or whoever else. None of the flashlight companies. But I caught producing and having CNC shops in China while maintaining that they're made in the U.S. That's actually a pretty common thing.
It's been
Sorry,
a
BR, I
rough
didn't mean
year.
to cut you off. Yeah.
Yeah, for a few companies, that's been happening this year. Yeah.
For everyone who can't see, Nathan just typed the name in the chat, so there are some chuckles.
Yeah.
and it is to absolutely no one's surprise.
No one's surprised.
I will leave it at that.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Art and More podcast with your hosts, Nathan and B.R. Nathan is a Canadian illustrator with a couple years of military experience, and B.R. is a British anarchist that moved to the States. Both are passionate shooters and community builders. Together, they run the Seaburn art page. Enjoy the show.
I was trying to catch you in 4K shitting on me for my intros and my cold opens because I thought it would make a good intro, and then you stopped.
Pause. Yeah, because I was waiting for you to hit record. It's like it's a thing, but
it would have been
anyway.
a good cold open. It's a whole bit how I always.
All right. Here's one. When are they gonna invent a gun that doesn't talk to you?
I kind of like that. I think it's a feature, not a bug.
All right. Anyway.
Okay.
Hello there. I'm BR. You're listening to Art and War, and I'm here with my co-host Nathan.
Hello.
And our guest this week, Cloud Defensive, who I've been a fanboy of. I think this has been a Cloud Defensive podcast for quite a while. Like Mitch was a fanboy of the Owl way back when.
What did he call it? Chad Defensive.
Yeah, Chad Defensive.
Yeah, I used to give him so much shit for the Owl because I thought they were dumb, and now I have one and I love it.
This is a plug. Anyway,
this is not actually a plug. I guess kinda.
Anyway,
yes.
We're joined by Michael and Trent from Cloud Defensive. Thank you, lads, for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Good,
where Pistol Light? Where is it?
Right off the bat. Yeah, where do I cancel this podcast?
Yeah, log off.
All right, we're out.
Right from the get-go.
So anyway, I want to talk to you guys about the Rain 4.0.
Mini Owl win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys have been like, how old is Cloud Defensive at this point? You guys have been around like, to my knowledge, 3 or 4 years, or is it a little bit longer than that?
Yeah, it's longer than that.
Longer than that. I think that's when, really 2017, 2018 is when the company started kind of getting some spotlight, especially when the Owl came out. But yeah, they've been, as a company, the Cloud Defensive as a company itself has been around for quite a bit longer.
I want to say it's 2013.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You think we would know this right off the top of
Yeah,
it?
I'd have to go look at the van.
I told you,
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
but gotchas.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2017, 2018 is really when they started to take off publicly.
Gotcha.
What-
And then, like, what was kind of like the first thing, to my knowledge, was that the Owl kind of starting to really kick off, and gain attention. But like, was there anything prior to the
Yeah.
Owl that was like
The LCS. So they made basically a contraption that would hold like your Surefire or your Streamlight switches with a pick mount, because they were
Oh,
constantly
yeah, I
having
had
those
one of
things
those.
fall off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was what Cloud Defensive was before Light. They had that. It was extremely popular. People still use it today.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it was the answer for that Velcro that Surefire switches or Streamlight switches come with that you're just supposed to stick on a handguard.
yeah, which in today's world where everything needs to be bomb-proof down to your buttons, and
Yeah.
boy do we have a lot of buttons these days.
Yeah.
pretty
Just
important.
more and more every day. So
Yeah.
So when did you guys transition from doing accessories for lights into lights?
Well, that's actually funny because Matt, one of the owners of Cloud, initially they did not want to do a light whatsoever. They were trying to get these other companies to make changes, and nobody was essentially listening. So they're like, screw it, we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's essentially how the Owl came to be. There was some prototypes before that, but the Owl was definitely what put us on the map.
That's definitely the healthier way to kind of get into business. Instead of like imagining problems to solve, it's like, is no one taking care of this? All right.
Yeah, that's exactly how Yeah.
Because I remember, and this is not a Surefire hate podcast, but now it's a Surefire hate podcast. I see BR there, just like, oh fuck, oh shit, fuck. No, I use some Surefire products, but around the turn of when I started getting into this stuff, and as I started to figure things out and learn what was good, what was bad, my very first weapon light ever. And I used this during my time in the military, and everyone looked at it and was like, "Oh, that's so cool! How did you do that?" It was a scope ring that I bought at the local hardware store with a $20 focusable LED flashlight in it, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And because I had an M16A2, effectively, with no rails, it was mounted in front of the optic. So we had like an ACOG style optic, and it was put on the upper receiver right in front of it. So it covered the lower third of your vision easily, and it was the biggest piece of shit. Like,
all 35 lumens of it.
All 35 lumens of like 15 candela of front sight shadow.
For only 4 pounds of added weight to your rifle.
Yeah. The kicker is I had to wrap it in like half a roll of electrical tape to even fit inside the scope ring. But I thought it was the coolest shit. I don't want to say that weapon lights weren't really something that people were thinking about. Like, we'd graduated past the Surefire Millennium, sort of, like the giant bricks that attach to the side of your rifles. But I want to credit you guys to being some of the first actual competition to the big two.
Yeah, I think we're the first ones that really put candela in the forefront.
Yeah.
Nobody advertised candela before we really started pushing that of, okay, well, lumens are great, but if all that spreads out and you can't see downrange, how is that any good for you?
Yeah. And I've had multiple Surefires, like 300s and 600 series. I know that they've changed it a lot with the turbo, but even the most recent Surefire 600, I was sighting a rifle in just past dusk on a high-vis, like 1-inch grid square target, and I could not see the target through a magnified optic with the Surefire on it. That was the first time I ever really realized candela mattered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say, because before, my first weapon light was a stream light, and you get your first weapon light, and you think, oh, this is great, I can finally see in the dark.
I can see everything.
And then what's that?
I can see everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you think you do. And then you get something like I had the Streamlight, then directly to a Rain 2.0 at that point. And I mean, no pun intended, but like a night and day difference. It's a huge difference in output. So you think you got what you need, but as soon as you get something that's nice, or I should say, our products are definitely higher end, I guess you can say, but the performance matches it. So as soon as I got that, I'm like, okay, now I understand. Now I get it.
No, I had the same thing. Like I was humbled by I came to the States and I was like, well, shit, I'm a sensible guy. Sling, optic, light, right? Yeah, that's what you need. And I, in my ignorance, I grabbed the first light that was within my budget, which was a Inforce WML, which, holy fuck.
You still have that, don't you?
Maybe
I thought I
do.
saw it at your place.
I probably do, because I mean, who the hell am I gonna... Oh, it's mounted to my helmet now.
Yeah.
As an umbrella light. But, like, I bought that, and, in a house, sure, fantastic. I've got a light on my gun, like, world of difference. And then I remember my first time taking it out into, like, the woods of northern Arizona for an overnight ruck. And I was just like, at night, I was just like scanning through the trees just to see how effective my light was. I was like, oh, like, why do I own this? And like, finally, it got to the point that as people got more knowledgeable about, lumens and capability and all that kind of thing, I was like, oh shit, this is kind of embarrassing to show now. And just the capability, I was like, I'd go out to the range, we'd be shooting until dusk, and same thing as Nathan, like, people be lighting up the targets, sufficiently with their surefires and stuff. I'm just like, meep, with my little WML. And then we actually used to shoot out where, I think where Admin shoots in Arizona. against that big mountain that you see him shoot against sometimes. And when I first picked up my Rain 2.0, same thing. I was like, I go from being the guy who's like afraid to show it to like, oh yeah, I'll light up the whole fucking mountain, guys. Boom.
And like, I want to preface this: we're not shitting on the other companies or anything.
No, of course.
But there is definitely there's definitely a capability difference, and you as soon as you see them back to back, you get it.
Yeah, they're designed for different things, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like you guys are trying to, eat someone else's lunch. Like, you guys have introduced all sorts of kind of cross-compatibility with your buttons and modules at this point, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
that's one thing that's great about us, too, is, like, we've constantly said, like, this table is big enough for us all to eat off of it.
Yeah.
You'll never see us, like, publicly attack anybody because there's just no point in it.
Yeah.
Surefire makes great products. Streamlight makes great products. We just continuously try to be better.
Yeah. And I think the best thing you can do is compete with yourself and, make sure you're doing something different and differential. Like, if you're just trying to keep up with everyone else, then you're probably doing something wrong.
Right.
But that's something, getting back to kind of like the origins of cloud, like going from accessories to building lights, like in terms of finding your place in the market, because you guys kind of came out from Go with more expensive lights. Like, how was that for the company kind of coming out as a more higher end light option, not in a crowded market, but where there was like Surefire's like good to go, end a conversation more or less.
Yeah. So when they did the OWL, when they originally launched it, they did a pre-order on it. Not fans of pre-orders. We try not to do that like at all.
It's dangerous.
It is. Yeah. That pre-order sold out in a very short time frame. I can't remember the exact date that or time frame they told me it was, but it was, I want to say it was less than a day. Now they took forever to get out because the OWL has 400 parts in it, something like that. It has an excessive number of parts that are inside of that thing. So it's very time consuming to make it. The first iterations of them, they went through so many different versions before they finally had here's your product in a box shipping to you thing. But yeah.
And just all U.S. manufacturing, like using U.S. sourced materials as much as you possibly can. Yeah. U.S. sourced manufacturing, obviously. Assembly is all done in house. Like all of it is here. You know what I mean? So obviously that costs a bit more too than overseas.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see kind of the development like pace of companies who stick to those standards, because like you're competing with people who shamelessly will produce in China with the cheapest materials and really not shitting on anyone in particular. It's just a factor of the market, no matter what industry. But
a few bigger companies actually got caught doing that. None of the big flashlight companies. I'm not shitting on. I mean, I am shitting on someone specific, but I'm not thinking about like Surefire or whoever else. None of the flashlight companies. But I caught producing and having CNC shops in China while maintaining that they're made in the U.S. That's actually a pretty common thing.
It's been
Sorry,
a
B.R,
rough
I didn't
year.
mean to cut you off. Yeah.
For a few companies, that's been happening this year. Yeah.
For everyone who can't see, Nathan just typed the name in the chat, so there are some chuckles.
Yeah,
and it is to absolutely no one's surprise.
No one's surprised.
I will leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. No, it's a reality of the market, but at the same time, like holding yourself to those standards and trying to create US based jobs and. Especially, I take it very personally as someone who also works in marketing in this kind of space. Like Nathan, you're distracting the fuck out of me with those. He's just adding more names.
That wasn't me. That one wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
Yes, but also yes.
Yeah, also yes. No, it's like a point of pride to maintain those things, and especially like I take it personally with gear, no matter if it's nylon, like anything from a rock to a rifle to a light to an optic, like these are all components of things people very well might trust their life to. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you, as someone who, whether it's manufacturing or marketing or any component of those companies, and you don't have the, like, just the integrity to consider that most important fact, and instead go more the route of, like, consume in bulk, I really can't take you seriously, and I really can't respect you.
Yeah. No, that's U.S. manufacturing for us is huge, but we totally get it. Like the made in China thing, like we have it, our Chicro, little pocket light.
Very appropriately
named. We named it
named.
Chicro because Chinese micro, and like we didn't hide behind that.
Yeah.
And because in that sense, who wants to pay over $100 for a tiny little micro light? That's an admin light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, the market doesn't support it. Now, if the market supported it, then we would. And we looked into it, did a lot of market research on it, and just, it wouldn't have sold, like nobody would have wanted to spend on. So, okay, we got our US, like it's our design, the Chicro, but it's made overseas. So that's kind of the alternative there. So you can have your like flagship products, and then, for people that want to start getting into cloud, okay, well, here's the Chicro.
Yeah. And I mean to, not to stay on my soapbox, but there is a big difference in use case between your Chicro, like, making sure I've got what shit I have in my rock or whatever the hell I'm doing, like, checking on your engine in the dark or whatever. And
harassing my cat.
Harassing your cat. And, like a light that's meant to go on a fighting rifle. So it's like, though that's where I won't blame people for, going that route with manufacturing when it makes sense for, the economies of scale. Quick question on the Chicro. Like, have you guys considered doing a red light version?
Yes. So that is something that we're in the process of working on.
Hell yeah.
We kind of all have ADHD. We have 30,000 projects going at one time.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We do listen to customers, though, and we get a request a lot for some sort of red light admin. Our engineers are exploring the best way to do that. We don't know if that's going to be like its own standalone light, or if we're going to do something along the lines of, say, like a filter. So they're exploring that, but that is something we've been working on.
BR here with a quick word from our newest sponsor of the show that made our first video podcast possible, the great people over at Attorneys for Freedom. Attorneys for Freedom are a real criminal defense law firm offering attorneys on retainer for legal representation in self-defense cases, and are not some insurance company or provider. This means that Attorneys for Freedom are able to cover scenarios that are often denied coverage by other programs. Self-defense scenarios such as while in gun-free zones or sensitive areas, while under the influence or on medication, scenarios where you knew your attacker, and while using any weapon in self-defense, from a firearm to a household object or otherwise. Additionally, Attorneys for Freedom will not drop you from coverage, nor will they ever ask you to pay them back. Even if you take a plea deal where you admit guilt to a criminal act, Attorneys for Freedom will not ask to recoup their fees. Attorneys for Freedom covers 100% of your attorney's fees in the event they can reasonably argue that you were acting in self-defense, and now you're facing serious felony charges. The primary key to coverage is their ability to reasonably argue self-defense in court. Nathan and I have signed up already, and you can too in no time at all. The National Self-Protection Plan is available with a one-time sign-up fee of $100 and just $35 per month after that. Family plans and annual rates are also available. Signing up via the link in the show notes or via the Seaburn Art Instagram bio link helps support the show with both your initial sign-up and every month you retain Attorneys for Freedom services. Get covered in all 50 states, support the show, and have peace of mind that should your worst day come, Attorneys for Freedom has your back. Thanks for listening, people. How's it going, lads and ladies? BR here with a quick word from the longest running sponsor of the Art and War podcast, Advanced Warfighting Solutions. AWS have been making tough as hell gear for decades right here in the US and North Carolina. Nathan, myself, and thousands of others run that gear through the ringer and trust our lives to it, whether that's LARPing in the woods or dragging kit through war zones. AWS manufactures many great packs, pouches, plate carriers, and our personal favorite, the SMU Operator Belt. A set-and-forget gun belt that crushes in build quality, capability, and excellent feedback from its many users. We are tough on our gear here at Art and War, and the SMU takes that treatment in its stride. Though already at a sweet price point, you can knock $10 more off your SMU belt with the code ARTandWar10 at awsin.com. The code and link to the AWS website can be found in the show description. Thanks for listening, now let's get back to the show. That's something, I guess kind of leading into like variations and stuff, and I'm sure that's kind of where your SKUs and the many products you have gets a little bit complicated, where it's like, well, how about you make a IR version? How about you make a red lens version? Like
let's say we have a lot of irons in the fire right now. That we definitely listen to customer feedback and what they're wanting. So as corny as it sounds, to like one of those stay tuned type of thing, but
big things coming.
Check it out. But and honestly, that is just new products definitely in the works. We'll just say that.
So
I don't want to get you in trouble with the overlords there. Very curious. When pistol light? Sorry.
No. Like we don't want to get you in trouble with the higher ups, but at the same time, we don't want to be in trouble with our listeners. Like we do have to bang on about the pistol light. It's absolute necessity. So what's the deal, gang? We've been
either tell us when it's going to be released or give us your rad scores.
How many months away? How many days?
So, okay, we're the media department.
To the hour.
We do not. Look behind you. We don't have a date per se, especially like us in this department. It has not been forgotten about. The problem, which isn't really a problem with us per se, but it has to be perfect. And we mean like out of the box, it's perfect. I will go on record and just say like that thing was prematurely teased before it should have ever even been said we were making it.
These things happen.
Yes.
We...
and since then, we definitely learned from that. But since then, that was right before COVID, if I remember right.
I think so.
So it was right before COVID. COVID happened. We're scaling up the company at the same time. Also, everyone knows it was a big boom in the gun industry. So we're scaling the company, also trying to up production of, at the time we were still making the Owl and the Rain. Actually, we even transitioned to the 3.0 at that point. Mm-hmm. So the EPO had to be put on the back burner temporarily until all that got ironed out and everything kind of settled back in. And then we refocused back to that. And we'll just say like changes, like competitors since then. I don't think I'm saying anything that we haven't publicly said before, but there has been competitors have made their own waves according to our original specs. So we'll just say that there's been changes made to it. So that's another reason why it's been pushed out this far. So we definitely haven't forgot about it. We just completely have changed it and revamped it and made it even better. So
we just don't want to release something that, have a situation where a light's released and another company has to make a switch for it. Or it's released and it's 30,000 candela less than our neighbors. We want it comes out, you're happy with the switchology of it, you're happy with the beam, you're happy with how much power it's got, the runtime, and a lot goes into that. We get constant questions of like, well, if I would have made it, I would have had it yesterday, or statements, I guess I should say.
I think a lot of those people don't know how R&D works.
Like it's not that simple. And if we're making like the most tiny change to it, the whole thing changes. We choose a different driver, scrap that original one because we're going to a new plan. But no, it is in progress. We don't have an ETA currently, sooner than later, but that's not a date. Like that's just a statement.
I think that's good. Sooner than later is definitely probably the.
We are going to trademark soon, so that's ours now. So don't use it. But it's a project, and I can promise you that nobody wants that thing to come out more than us. Because I want to see what our people on our Instagram are going to move on to when the where EPO question is answered.
All right, now we're talking about some real stuff.
I just thought it'd be a funny bit.
Well, I mean, funny, but also like absolutely essential. Like,
yeah.
People...
I am really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, me too. I've been holding off. Yeah. I've got an original T-Rex Raptor holster. I've been holding off since it was first announced because I was a Cloud Defensive fanboy. I was like, oh gee whiz, I'll wait to update my holster until until Cloud Defensive's pistol light is out.
Yeah.
You just said like I really want a new holster.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at.
We have a running joke here in the office that if one of us ends up having to be in a self-defense situation and we have to use like an X300 or something else, that person gets fired. So we don't have to worry about it. Like, we'll just get rid of that. So, yeah.
No, it's like, this is the last thing I'll say on it, but in the time that I've been excited waiting for the Cloud Defensive pistol light, T-Rex was selling Raptor holsters, and then they discontinued them, and then they brought out an updated version of it. Fuck, guys.
Yeah, I responded. Somebody yesterday got lippy with us in DMs, and it's just me and Michael that handle that stuff anymore. And like, for the most part, I'm pretty professional, but every once in a while you'll catch me in a mood. And this dude was like, he was going through the list of like, this is what's happened since you guys announced it, and this is what happened. And I think I said something along the lines of, you played Grand Theft Auto 5 on like 4 different consoles and you're going to give us shit. So it's just, it is what it is. We've told people, do not wait on us. Like, if you do not have a pistol light on your gun, buy one. You shouldn't be waiting on us.
No, I remember you guys saying that a while back, and I appreciate that kind of like openness, like, being consistent with like, this is a really important thing to have on your gun. Yeah. Well, I'm sure when we release ours, you'll want to get it, but until then,
and PID is extremely important. We want you to have it, we really do. And when it does come out, you can sell it on gaffs or something. I'm banned, so I can't see it, but you can do it.
My mind jumps to Cyberpunk 2077 of all things. Everyone was very, very mad that it didn't come out.
And then they rushed
complaints. They rushed it. And they released a half-finished game, and I fucking love that game now that they fixed it. That it took years to fix.
It broke my heart when it came out a buggy mess. I was like, fuck, I was excited for this. And you guys, being beta tested on by companies that you respect and you're excited for what they're doing is it's just shit for everyone.
Sorry.
Damn, Nathan, bless you.
I got some hay fever going on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's awful.
How do we come out with it now based on that original post from 2019? I mean, people would have been like, okay, awesome, great. What's next? So, like I said, we've made changes to it, and that's partially why, it's taking longer than expected. But as Trent mentioned, it was prematurely put out there to begin with. We'll just say that.
Yeah. It was a couple dudes that got really excited about something that shouldn't have had the login access for Instagram.
I kind of absolutely get that. I mean, much lower scale. Mitch will be like, in olden days, Mitch would go well, this has to go up on Tuesday at 6 p.m. I'm like, no, it's 1 a.m. on a Sunday. 1 a.m. on a Sunday, and I'm going to post it right now. I don't care.
We're sending it. Yeah. There was a couple photos that might have been teased when alcohol was involved with some people. Yeah. So, it was just...
This sounds like my kind of marketing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was great. It worked out so well for us.
Fuck. Hey, I mean, I have been part of releases that are similar, where it was teased years in advance, and finally you come to game day, and you know what? Everyone's happy. When it's finally out, all of the angst and the worry about it, never coming out, it's gone. As long as you're not being beta tested on after years of hype, happy days. It's here.
Which is exactly what we don't want.
Yeah. So kind of in that vein, what else is kind of on the in the near future for Cloud Defensive? What are you guys excited about that you can talk about?
So those new switches that have already came out, they're, we had a lot of complaints with the older switches, which worked fine, but we saw where people were complaining. We made improvements based off those complaints. End of quarter 2,
Q2 for the dual lead.
Yeah, for our dual lead. So we'll be able to play with all of your IR devices,
Nice.
anything like that. We'll be able to run those guys. We can tell them about that thing.
What's that thing?
When's this coming out?
Week after next.
Yes.
Oh, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Do you have a black one?
Yes, I do.
Well, I guess you can't see it, or they can't see it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what color it is. This is the Chicro XL.
What?
So we had a lot of demand for, people loved the Chicro, but they wanted more of a full-size task light, especially like automotive guys. We're big car guys ourselves, but this is what everyone was wanting. So we did that. It has, where's that packaging? 500 lumens, if I remember right. 500 lumens on high, and I believe it's 50 on low. Sorry, look at the packaging. It's brand new. First people, you're the first that are hearing about it.
Yeah, you're the first pitch.
First time marketing it. I love it.
Yeah, 500 lumens on high, and then it's coming to 50 low. So it is noticeably brighter than the Chicro. The Chicro for its size is already extremely bright. So people, I think, are going to get pretty stoked on this.
Yep. And other than that, like, it's just trying to listen to what customers want. There's not like a certain product in, like, nobody's doing anything in a lab right now that we absolutely can't tell you about. Once we knock out the projects that we currently have, we'll just be kind of pulling up what customers are requesting the most and moving on from there.
Yeah. Where does IR light fall on your spectrum of like wants and demands from the customers?
So I want it personally.
Yeah, I want it.
I think we both do. We're heavily invested in night vision, so it would benefit both of us greatly.
I saw the photos you sent me from the vacation there. The Airbnb.
Yeah. So
all like knotted out.
Yeah. So that was actually that was in Tampa. We take it everywhere, and then most of us here, we do a lot of training up in Ohio, which actually most of it involves night vision now. So if we made an IR head, I know a lot of us would be beyond ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
I can tell you the problem with that is companies own most ways to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like a vampire style head that can cross over from white light to IR, either it's owned to the point where we would not be able to make our own without getting sued, or you run into the problem of you're trying to make one thing do two things and it doesn't do either of them great.
Yeah.
So, figuring out how to do that and make it the best that we can make it is going to be the issue. We also run into the issue of we've never made an IR head, so we got to buy, all this testing equipment, everything else for it. That's high up for me though, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I could tell them to do that tomorrow, that's what I would do.
We'll just say it's been heavily talked about around the office. We'll just say that. Yeah.
And then, other than that, like I'm just,
a lot of stuff, honestly, we can't talk about. There's quite a bit out there that I want to tell you guys, but that we're excited about that we just can't, to be honest with you.
What's your
it's
rad
just
scores?
getting it to more people. The right scores?
The
I'll give you
rad
a
scores. RAADS.
It's just getting into the hands of more people. Like I consider us in the top 3.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that if you tell us or say, hey, cloud defensive, they have no idea who we're talking about. I'm local and I didn't know cloud defensive was even a thing until 4 or 5 years ago. And I definitely didn't know they were local until I started 2 months before I came on. So getting our name more household, like, you say Surefire, everybody knows Surefire.
Yeah.
They've been around, they've done everything, they've done great. They've got a name and they've got a track record. We want that kind of thing. I want to be able to go up to somebody, say cloud defensive, and they know exactly what we have, who we are, what we do. I'm personally pushing for us to get more on the military side of everything. Like I want to see, our guys using it. We do heavily invest with like trying to get different departments on board with us. So that's another move that we're making, but then also just getting consumer facing, big box stores. Like but while the quality is the same, though, is the main thing. Like, we want to be able to sell not necessarily like Walmart, but if we can get into a Cabela's and it's the exact same quality as you get onto a website and order it from us, then great.
Yeah. I think that dictates a lot of what people buy. I think being able to see it in a store,
Yes.
being tangible, like at the level that we are, I think, like the level of TISM, it's all online retail, but most people don't really like that. I want to say, like outside of our circles of having to do it because we're very product centric or like performance centric or things like that. You kind of can't.
Well, you seek these things out, whereas like I know a lot of like local dudes who, like, if they don't see it in the store, it doesn't exist, which is
it's not
kind of
real.
wild to me. But
I know so many dudes that just won't order anything.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us, like, because we are so passionate about this stuff and building, like Nathan said, we're chasing performance. Like, we seek out those things, whereas that's not the majority of people. So yeah, getting to that household name place where the everyman, the guy who, he's built like a fighting rifle AR, he's like a 20-something Appalachian guy, but at the same time, like, he mainly uses his AR for like hunting or whatever. Like, he's a blue collar kind of guy. Like, getting names like Cloud Defensive in front of them, it's a little bit challenging.
It is. Yeah, it's extremely challenging. The other thing that we run into that we try to like explain out is like the price, which was brought up earlier, like $400, we'll say, even, for a weapon like that seems steep right out the gate.
Especially when, someone can, I'm going to look at weapon lights on Amazon. Oh,
yeah,
$100.
100%.
Why would I do that?
Yeah. This weapon light's got a bezel. I can knock a window out.
Yeah.
But like, especially in our world with our, neighbors, $400 is not bad considering everything out of the box is what you need. Like, you get the mount, you get the switch, you get the light, the battery, the charger. If you ordered from any of our, friendly competitors, that's just the light. You don't get the charger. You do not get the mount. Batteries, go fuck yourself. You're buying them. Like,
we're actually doing a kind of a consumer education style videos right now, and just showing off the different features that the Rain has that is not really on any other. Because we have a lot of patented features on the Rain, for example, that no other companies have. And that's one of the highlights on it is it seems like a lot, but value-wise, I was pricing out competitors that if you purchased everything that comes with the Rain, it was well over $500.
Yeah.
And you have not even the performance of the Rain. That's just kind of the consumer education part of it. Not only the cost, but the overall, like, what you're actually getting.
Yeah, and like when you look at the packages, it's not apples to apples. It's apples to half a grocery cart to have the same function, and that's something that
they see an MSRP somewhere and they see one a little bit cheaper, but you don't actually dig into it. Of okay, well now I have to buy a $50 mount, and then to have the push button and a switch, I have to have another $150 on top of that. So. And then a charger if you need, it adds up to get everything that you actually need to run it, instead of just, just looking at the MSRP and seeing sticker shock right off the bat. You really need to look at the details, and it's actually a lot of light for the value.
Yeah, honestly,
this is now an Olight hate podcast.
You can also put it in your mouth and it won't blow up.
Pros and cons depending on what kind of listener you are.
Right,
This isn't the spicy mouth. Yeah, this isn't the spicy mouthfeel I was looking for from a light. This light is far too safe.
I
Cloud
do like
does not recommend putting it in their mouth.
What I was gonna say was like transitioning from like a place of ignorance with lights. Like I bought the Inforce WML because there was no wires. I was like, initially when I was brand new to buying accessories like that, I was like, I don't know shit about like momentary or like buttons or pads or wires or how I would store all of that without it being like a piece of shit. And so I just went for the WML because it made sense to just have it all one package. Oh, I put my thumb on the button, done. There's nothing to fuck up. And then I think similarly, that's why a lot of people probably got into the owl, was it was like just a package, you just clonk, done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got like significantly more performance out of that than you would similar competitors that were just one package. And then like
back then it was mostly like the Surefire 300 600 series, which I'm really not sorry to say they just did not work really well at being a light anyway.
What the fuck else are you using those for?
Don't ask questions you don't want.
I guess anything's if you're brave enough.
Phallic shaped.
Vaguely. So much gloss. Anyway. The Rain 2.0
product.
Shit. Shit. They know. The Rain 2.0 was my first foray into fucking with cables, just because it was like pretty shit simple. Like I could see from all reviews and all of the feedback on the 1.0, like these lights perform. They're pretty shit simple for what you get, and the fact that I'm not gonna fuck up buying the wrong buttons, the wrong wire, or any of the accessories. Like even though it's not entry level pricing, it's kind of entry level user experience where you don't have to like be a subject matter expert to put a very capable light on your fighting rifle. Which, like for me at the time, like I knew I needed to buy once, cry once, but I also knew I didn't know shit. So the Rain 2.0, like really, I've since like learned a lot more on the subject, but at the time, like it was a really solid package to kind of get an intro into solid rifle lights.
So, a question for listeners.
Jesus, Nathan.
Yeah, I saw the same thing.
Is it the gun? It's not it is a head of my face.
This motherfucker does like a Chief Wiggum every episode.
It's fine. It's airsoft. It's not airsoft. No. It wasn't. For anyone who is listening, and I'm sure that, God, I wanted to do a guide on this a while ago. For the dummies out there like me, what is the difference between lumen and candela? Like, why do you want
That's a great question.
candela?
I'll take this. You want me?
I mean, I can. So, in a very simplistic way of explaining it, lumens is the pure output of your LED, for example. That's how purely bright it is.
Like
candela is what actually. What's that?
Like at the source, right?
Yes, exactly. Candela is what actually pushes that light out further. So you could have a 2000 lumen light, but if you have really low candela, it's just going to light up your room. You're not going to be able to see downrange at all. So that's where we focused on candela, and like so, we were the kind of the ones that really pushed that from the beginning. Is that you can actually see downrange now, and like I said, nobody really advertised that. Now you see all the companies advertise their candela, but that was definitely, I'd say confidently, that we were the ones that really put that in the forefront.
Yeah, your cool when cell phone light is low candela, low lumen. So you turn that on in your room, you can see your feet, but you're probably still going to stub your foot at some point in time somewhere. Candela on that, it would be able to, now you can see your bed. Something like that. It's just making it as simple as possible. There's a lot more explanation into it. We could write a book. But to just keep it extremely simple, it's just pushing light out as candela.
Yeah. And the thing about it is you want to find a good mix of it, because if you put all candela, then it's just a laser beam.
Yeah.
And okay, now you can't see anything around you. There's no spill. So you have to have that good balance of, your light head has to have a good spill to it and also be able to throw light further out. So, I mean, honestly, that's with the Rain, we really focused on that because we could push it out even further if we wanted to. But at that point, what's the point?
Yeah, there's like a small niche of people that are getting like really into LEPs. I can't think of a company off the top of my head that makes one, but like if you ever see a photo of like just a guy with a light that literally looks like a white laser beam going down.
Oh yeah,
that's
Z-Bolt makes
Z-Bolt.
one.
Yeah, Z-Bolt. Yeah, so they make one.
Yeah,
that's great if you want to wash something out that's 400 yards away from you, but you literally won't see anything around it. You know, I mean, think of like from an IR perspective, like a Perst, using that full power laser to wash, like in your room, you just wash everything out. You can't see anything. You have no idea what is actually there. So we have our hotspot, but then we also have a large, call it an iris, around the hotspot that you can still ID everything around that as well. So that's why that's so important to us.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And especially tailoring your throw and sort of your expectation around your engagement range to get LARPy, you know, to use, to get very LARPy.
And you need it. PID is extremely important, especially in the world that we live in. You know, the last thing any of us wants to do is take a shot and be like, "What really was there?"
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I just smoked a donkey.
Yep.
Yeah, like 3 of them, and then I got convicted on a SBR charge.
Was that the same guy who posted the picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
They posted the photo, deleted it, and then they recently got convicted. They were found guilty of NFA violation. They basically had an SBR.
I mean, free my mans, but like, quit shooting fucking donkeys.
Like,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, don't post it on the internet.
Don't post it on the internet just being like, "Oh, PID's important." It's like, fucking delete this.
Like, no shit.
Yeah, you don't have to post that photo. You can just make a story out of it.
You can probably
Snapchat, my guy. What are you doing?
leave out the federal crime aspect.
Yeah,
like,
that part.
The government doesn't fuck around on poaching. They really don't.
No, they don't. Which is fine. I mean, I've got a soft spot for donkeys, so
yeah, me too.
You know, fuck that guy.
That
But
just sounded really came out weird. You got a soft spot for donkeys.
I remember when that happened.
I do love an ass.
Yeah,
same.
dude.
I mean ass.
Ass. Yeah, asses.
I was on a road trip when that happened, and I remember just like stopping for gas and seeing it on Instagram. So I pulled over to the side of the road, got into a coffee shop, and drew the dead donkey as Eeyore. And
instantly.
The Gloom Group guy is just Christopher Robin with nods and a rifle. And I had like no sleep at the time. I thought it was the funniest thing in the fucking world, and it still is. Fuck it.
Every time I see that like going around, I'm like, fucking ace. Something we did a guide on a while ago was photonic barriers, which was another reason I was very interested in the rain, because I knew kind of compared to a lot of what else was out there, like just is that Candela or a Lumen thing? It's a Candela, right?
Candela, yeah.
Yeah, defeating photonic barriers.
Photonic barriers, so especially if you're shooting with a lot of people nearby or suppressed, you get a lot of that just haze in the air, gun smoke in the air, and Candela helps push through that. Tint, Candela help push that, especially with our handhelds. That's one of the things that we advertise is you'll be able to actually look into somebody who has super dark tint on their windows, actually see what's inside. Another thing that I don't think people really talk about a whole lot is Candela is really good about, you don't only have to use it at night. So, for example, come up to a house. I don't know what you're doing, but maybe you're military, law enforcement, or you're just LARPing. I don't care. But you come up to a house in the middle of the day. How do you see inside the house? Most people are going to press their heads up against the window, cup their face around it. Well, that's a good way to get shot. So you can stand back, put that Candela through the window, and actually see in daylight what's inside. And a lot of people don't talk about that, but that is one use case that we've come across for sure.
Yeah.
Personally, I try not to keep any lights in my home defense gun. It's mostly, I think it'll make me complacent. I just want to shoot at sounds, and I react a lot faster if it's dark.
Yeah,
exactly.
Plug into those animal instincts.
Yeah, it's like the light goes on for the LARP, it turns off for if there's ever a serious situation.
There's a noise magged up.
Yeah. Just like, honey, did you see where my shirt is? And just mag dump.
Where's the dog at right now?
Yeah, you're gonna do a fucking Oscar Pistorius, and we're gonna be watching. Good lord! Did you guys ever hear that news story?
Who? Then why is that name so familiar?
he was known as Blade Runner. He's a Paralympian with like the little like hook legs. He's a South African runner. Do you guys hear about this? This is like a big news story in England for some reason, even though he's a South African. I don't know if it made it to the States, but he allegedly he was at home and he heard a noise. So South African grabs gun, mag dumps through his bathroom door and shoots his fucking girlfriend dead. Like, and it was like, doesn't she live with you? Like, you heard a noise in the bathroom and you're like, you roll over in bed and you're like, huh, my girlfriend's not there. Mag dump. Like, the guy went to court and was like trying to be like, I had no idea. Like, motherfucker, I think you are the most ignorant man alive, or you hated that bitch. Like, it's one or the other.
So my mother-in-law lives with me. You can see her on Cloud Media. She's the little old lady carrying around an AT4.
What?
Yeah, so it's on there. Like, she's fantastic. She takes gun photos. She wants to do it, but she keeps the oddest hours in the world. She'll wake up at like 2 and just try to do dishes or whatever. I couldn't even imagine if I couldn't figure out a way to ID her. Like, I would be heartbroken if I accidentally back dumped into Norma Jean. She's a saint. Like, plus she'd fight back, and she's terrifying.
Fuck.
How many times have you shined a light in her eyes? Just trying to see. Norma Jean is like you.
Well, she's legally blind anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's fun. You can just test Candela on her all the time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Can you see this? No? It's got to be brighter.
Oh, someday she'll be like, oh my god, I see the light. Like,
by God, we've got it.
Hell yeah. This is the one.
Pack it up, boys. We're going home.
Fuck. Kind of I guess as a marketing department, like I've alluded to it a number of times on this show, like working in marketing in this industry. Like, is there anything you guys try to do differently at Cloud that you feel a lot of the industry kind of fails at with marketing?
Humor. We definitely do a lot of dumb shit on it.
Yeah.
but
engagement with customers.
Yeah, that's
or just people in general. I know from like a personal perspective, like it was before I was in the industry, it was always really cool whenever some company would take the 3 seconds it would take to acknowledge that I existed. Not even like complaints or anything, but just like a comment, or, you know, close to you guys, AWS actually reshared a photo of mine. And that was my very first, you know, somebody acknowledged that I was taking photos kind of thing. And I still remember that.
Yeah.
So it means a lot. And we try to never forget where we came from. So we definitely, like, you know, you could message the Cloud account and it's either him or me that are going to respond to you. And we generally are very fast. We pride ourselves on that, you know.
And I think our not being so closed-minded, I guess, and being more transparent is really, I think that's really the big thing. Is that's how Cloud really from the beginning was our transparency with everyone. Even with going back to EPL, we still like answer those same questions all the time. People DM us. We had 4 legit today about people asking and like telling them the same thing that we tell everybody. Like, we may not do a video on every single thing about it, but like we address it. Yeah. So if you're not seeing it, then I guess you just haven't come across the right comment or something. I don't know. But I think definitely being transparent, like you said, just interaction and just general not afraid to make fun of ourselves kind of thing.
Yeah. We're not better than anybody, and we know it. We try to be extremely humble with everyone.
Some might even say we are the most humble.
Yeah. we attend every range day that we can possibly attend. You know, we travel to different places so that different people can get their hands on stuff. Like I'll be out in Idaho later this month. We're going to be in Texas at we leave at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. You know, and while people are there, like, come up, ask questions. You know, if you're mad at us, throw things at JT.
Yeah.
You know, he's our intern. You can abuse him. That's fine.
That's what the.
You know, we'll let you take him. Like, you can have JT.
Is he paid
The
or
cloud
or
interns
unpaid?
are free. They don't want you to know this.
Yeah,
You can
nobody
just
wants
take
you to
them.
know this, but they're free. You can take them. Yeah, we'll get another one. It's fine.
He's unfortunately paid.
Yeah, he is a paid intern. So, yeah.
I mean, honestly, that gives you more right to give him away.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ours. We can do what we want with him.
He's gonna love this when he hears it.
Oh yeah,
I think the
he
phrase
was
is
so
indentured servant.
yeah, something like that. He came with the building. But yeah, no,
you don't
it's-
have to pay him if you chain him to a radiator.
Correct.
True words have never been spoken. That's a universal truth.
Yeah.
You can store anyone in a shipping container for up to 72 hours before anyone notices.
He's a tiny dude. We could fit him in just like a crate.
Oh, dude.
Is my guy victim weight?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say yeah.
The shrug. That was our last guest. Matt kept on calling people the A24 film armorer kept on saying victim weight, and I was like, "Fuck, that's so brutal."
I'm gonna steal that and use it
That's
all the
so
time.
brutal. Like, yeah, who gives a fuck if I'm victim weight? I spent $500 on a Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah, JT carries a Beretta, so you'll be fine.
At least it's not 1911. Our new guy.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Our new guy pridefully, young dude, like early 20s, and he was very proud of his Turkish 1911, which took some hazing, but he
Rightfully so.
he got better.
My
So-
local gun shop has a Turkish 1911 on consignment that will shoot if the safety is on. It just turns the safety off if you pull the trigger hard enough.
It's a feature.
It's a feature,
Yeah,
not a bug.
it's a feature.
If you're really in a panic and you really need to shoot
Yeah.
someone with
Yeah.
your Turkish big iron,
It comes with a Serpa, and it comes with a Serpa, and
bully
it's
people.
$1,200.
does it no shit come with a Serpa?
No joke.
You know you can bully people to make better choices, right?
You can, or you can talk them into making dog shit choices because it's funny.
Yeah, like I feel like once you have a certain amount of experience as like someone who teaches others to shoot, like especially myself and Nathan, you come past a point of trying to be the responsible subject matter expert, and you just kind of get into like semi-abusive because it's funny behavior. At least when appropriate, like a
Yeah.
brand new, taking my lady's mum out to shoot, absolutely fucking best behavior. I'll be like just golden. I take out like I take out like someone who's like younger guy at the company to shoot like seriously for one of the first times. Oh, it's gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
Gonna say some absolutely heinous shit, bad instruction, like literally.
It's like, you want to buy an AR-500 plate carrier? Hell yeah, brother.
That's
You
a
do
great
you.
idea. That's a
Why don't
great
you-
idea.
Why don't you get the Thin Blue Line special edition variant? They have a plate carrier on that's $999 fucking dollars. And if anyone ever buys that, I'm gonna beat them to death with a hammer.
This is legally a promise and
This
a
is
threat.
legally a promise. It's a threat.
No,
Holy
like
fuck, though.
sometimes you just have to teach people wrong as a joke, and
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's less competition in the dystopian future.
Yeah. There's another company. Someone posted it in the Discord, and it was just selling like Bear Creek and Anderson ARs that had been poorly Cerakoted for like $3,000 to $6,000, and they came. Some of them came with sight marks and things like that, and they had the worst names. Like one of them would come in a guitar case, and it was like the Blood Letter,
The Blood Letter.
shit like that, and it was like. Basically, like, hey, you live in are you trailer trash and your stimmy check just came in? Have you sold this bag of meth that you found in on your neighbor's porch? I don't know. Like,
Did your baby mama get her tax return?
Yeah.
Did
I
your
wanna find out
child
who it
get
was.
hit by a clothes hanger at Walmart? Fuck. I have the AR for you. No, it's kind of funny, like just how many different levels of integrity and kind of self-awareness marketing in this industry has. Like I was saying earlier, I take it I'm a little boring when it comes to, within reason, to marketing in this industry. Like, sense of humor, absolutely critical for sure. Like, you can't take yourself too seriously. You're not trying to be like Mr. Trident, Navy SEAL, wannabe, like, mall ninja kind of direction. And at the same time, like, you can't be so fucking silly when that people don't take you seriously when you're talking about items that are related to preserving life and liberty and all that, soapbox stuff. But it's like, at the same time, there is so much to laugh at. Like, how many infinite Trump special edition ARs and Glocks have we seen? It's like, man, do they sell these with bump stocks? Like the jokes are endless. Like, there's so many parts of this industry where it's like, are these guys even on Instagram? Because, like, surely they would be railed on the daily. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of getting into that. Like, do you think like your customer base has kind of influenced Cloud having a sense of humor, or is that more from like internal dealing with just how you market? Like, because I feel like people's feedback keeps companies honest, and then humor is a kind of essential.
I think it's purely internal.
Really? I was literally going to say that.
We get to the point, like, we have so many just...
The same tactical video over and over is so, like, I get so jaded by it. It's so...
Yes.
It all looks the same to me. Now, granted, you'll see, like, when it's time to be serious, we will be serious, and you'll see, like, okay, this is the information that you need. This is how you need to use it. And we'll go into, we had a video fairly recently about momentary versus constant on white light, like the different use cases for it, advantages, disadvantages of it. Like, that's more of a serious video. We had a little bit of humor in there as well, and that's fine. But it was at its core more of a serious video. And then a little bit, a few weeks later, you'll see a video and it's like a Star Wars parody of like, it just goes back and forth.
Well, you guys do sell lightsabers, so
yeah,
we try.
We try.
Or we're making videos that we can't post because they get shut down.
Yeah, we had a video that
too much fun.
Did you guys see our April Fool's video? It was just like a little skit that we did on Instagram Reel.
What was it? I am so offline.
I remember that it's been a minute since I've seen a cloud defensive video, if I'm honest, just because I've been fucking device banned. Thank you, Zuck. But the last one I remember, someone mag dumping into the ceiling. That was memorable.
So that was the end of the owl.
Yeah.
That was
that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was fun. So we did one. We actually acknowledged the EPL question, and we made a little short video basically saying, hey, like, we don't ignore you guys. We try to acknowledge it, blah, blah, blah. In this video, we go into an office and you see Joel just absolutely beating the shit out of a computer screen, screaming, you're never going to get it, blah, blah, blah. We had made another video completely, which might get in trouble for talking about it. But
it's all you're going to get in trouble for talking about something.
Yeah, so it's fine. We made this video where we actually took Zach, who is one of our lead engineers, and we mock hung him from the ceiling. And so you open the door and you just see his legs swinging, and we're like, oh my God, another one, and third one this week. So what you saw on Instagram was the toned down version. That was the Disney version of it. Yeah. So
did you make two versions congruently, or did you try and push the hanging one first? And they were like,
we tried to push the hanging one. We tried that one first.
Internally, it went over really well.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it was like, this is probably a little too spicy for for the general public. So we'll tone it down a little bit.
Everyone loves it. It's like, do not release this.
yeah, pretty much. They're like, maybe not. I'm like, damn it. But the humor is definitely internal. It's the only way we stay sane. We do answer a lot of the questions that are exactly the same on a daily basis, every hour. If we don't make those little videos that either make fun of ourselves or kind of make fun with our customers, like, I think we'd all go a little nuts.
Yeah. But and
no, I think people appreciate the sense of humor. I mean, we got this far, and this like, people still listen to this show.
Oh, I mean, the variance in, like, who's willing to come on from, like, like the most serious like war stories and talks of mental health and all that kind of thing, right through to the silliest fucking shit anyone has ever bothered to post to the internet in this space. Like, it's nice to have that creative freedom, and it seems like Cloud Defensive is a pretty fertile bed for marketing to kind of have the freedom to do whatever is kind of necessary for the project. You're not stuck like your brand isn't stuck to a point where it's like, guys, that's not the tone.
Yeah, it's like it's not on brand. It's like, no, it's whatever we want to make of it. If it's a serious type of video, we're going to be serious about it. And if it's us just dicking around, then whatever,
Well, it's like gun culture 3.0 is mostly young guys, and like you guys are shooters. You know what people like. You guys are in the culture, so I
think that helps us a lot too, because we were both in different industries, but heavily followed the gun industry before actually starting here.
Now I'm
curious. I think that helps tremendously.
You should fill us in on that.
On where we come from?
Yeah. I'm curious. Like, what background? How did you guys get into this?
Me personally, I've done a little bit of everything. I've got a degree in automotive maintenance. Huge waste of money. Don't do that. So I did automotive tech. I was working for Honda for a while. I worked as a bartender for 10 years, lost that because of COVID. When that happened...
I was working in alcohol advertising as a graphic designer when COVID hit. All the bars shut down. I was like, well, fuck me.
Yep, same. From there, I opened up my own company, which was a detailing thing. Then my mother-in-law, beautiful Norma Jean, moved in with us, and I was like, hey, I need to get a more steady job. So I had been helping out Opie, actually, down there at Naughty with some stuff. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Doing some work for him right now.
Yeah, he's very solid. I had been helping him out, and I met some of the Cloud guys at one of their events, and I hit up a Cloud guy. I was like, are you guys hiring? They said yes. I came in. I got a job in production. I was actually building rainheads, and then they randomly found my Instagram account. And, there was a spot that opened. They asked me if I'd be interested in photography, which I've always taken photos, and I jumped at it.
And you also worked at the gun shop too.
Oh, and I did gun shop work. I worked at
that thing that was directly in line with
it. They're directly in line with it. I don't choose to acknowledge that part of my life. I worked there for a year and some change, and I checked out at about a year and some change. I was retail, and I was also a firearms instructor, which was basically teaching scared old ladies how to use their Kimber Micro 1911s or not use it and return it.
It seems that gun shop experience is very universal.
Yeah, it's a thing. You meet some of the coolest people, and you meet some people that are just yikes.
Tests like, your belief in the Second Amendment. You're like, everyone but Jesus.
Yeah, like, holy hell. You get there's certain guns that come in, and you just know automatically that is going to be a problem. So it just is what it is. But yeah, that part was, we'll choose to not acknowledge that existence of that part of my life.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
No, you're okay. You're okay. I find it interesting just how everyone gets into the industry. Maybe this is just me having an ADD moment. Didn't you guys used to have a trade-in program where you could just send weird lights in? What are some of the weirdest things you got? Like for anyone listening, a couple years ago, maybe even sooner. Do you just have a bin full of the weird?
Yeah, he does. I was trying to find one. I had just here it is right here. Like, what is this shit?
What the fuck is that?
No, I remember at the time because I was gonna send it in, and then you guys just had like a sale, so I was like, fuck it, it's not even worth like the hassle of fucking with USPS. But like I remember during like a Q&A, Sean or whoever at the time was answering them, someone was like, so what is like the limitation on a light? And I think he was sharing photos, and it was like someone had like duct taped like a cheap like Halloween light or some shit to a rifle. And it was like, we accepted this, so
Yeah,
it's on you.
That program was still alive when I came on, and I had told several people, like, we will take any light that was mounted to a rifle. And they're like, okay, well, I don't have one. And I'm like, I would go back through and capitalize that. We will take any light that was mounted to a rifle.
Like, mounted being a very generous term.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, people being like, yeah, I'll send in my mod light. Like, I'm going to send my Surefire. I don't like this thing. I'm like, my brother in Christ, put a flashlight in a hardware store scope ring.
Yeah. So we got a lot of like just Dollar General, Sunday night special kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We got a healthy amount of very high dollar clone correct lights.
Really?
Like the cloners going nuts for those old GWatt Surefires.
Yeah.
A large amount of those, like more than you would think.
Probably a lot of guys where they fell off the back of a truck and they're like, oh, this piece of shit.
Yeah, we can't do anything with this.
Yeah.
Of course, we got a healthy amount of the O-lights.
So like,
how did you
destructive
dispose
devices?
Of those?
They didn't. We wouldn't let them send them in with batteries. Everything was fine.
So just a whole bin of civilian legal grenades.
Yeah. Just put a battery in it. Good to go. And then, a good amount of Enforces. Not as many of the mod lights. We did get a couple, but not very many.
Yeah.
At least not that I saw. They were doing this program far before I came on. It was supposed to only last like a few months, and it ended up lasting years.
So yeah, we just stopped it recently, and I know people got upset about it. And it's like, well, that was a few month program that we gave you 2.5 years to do.
Yeah.
So
at some point like you have to it just went on forever.
Yeah, it just wouldn't stop. But you didn't say how you got in the industry.
So I worked for a company that's also marketing and media for a BMX company that is very large, kind of the brown elves of BMX. And it was kind of weird, the amount of crossover. When I came here, I realized that there's a lot of people in marketing here that either skate, ride BMX, into surfing, stuff like that, like the alternative sports, quote unquote.
It's kind of interesting, like what we've always referred to as like gun culture 3.0 or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's quite heavy in that leaning. Like the amount of companies that end up like mixing in skate kind of aesthetics and things like that. It's like it's almost like an archetype now.
Yeah, it is. But I was like heavy into guns, like big into NFA stuff. Still am, obviously.
Yeah.
But when I heard that, I was already kind of interested in getting into this industry, like long-term type of thing, because I followed it so heavily already.
Yeah.
And then when I found out that Cloud was local, I'm like, well, let me just see, if they're interested. And I just happened to apply at just the right time, and it worked out. And a lot of the same, I've learned a lot, but also like a lot of the same influences that I've had from my previous jobs, all kind of translate over. So it is, like I said, I followed the industry pretty heavily. So I was able to kind of transition that over, but still kind of keep my same style, I guess. Yeah. And it kind of, it works. I think that's where the weird humor comes from.
It's funny how it does work in this space. And I think going back to the kind of generational thing, a lot of these newer companies, like, 2010s and onwards kind of new gun industry companies, there's a lot of freedom from kind of the old guard and their way of doing things. Like, we can't advertise that way, we can't frame our products this way, yada yada. Like, it has to be more professional, it has to be more serious, or whatever it might be. Like, do you guys have a lot of luck kind of collaborating with like-minded companies? Is it easy to kind of find those people that suit Cloud Defensive's sort of age and kind of generational humor?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Trent's been doing awesome at that. He's reaches out to a lot of these companies that we are just like, seems like our marketing falls right in line with them. So, it's been awesome since you've been going hard on that. And it's been awesome.
So we it gives me a chance also, like, for my own personal gain part of it. Like, it's a bunch of companies that I always looked up to.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I've got a long list of companies that I was just like, growing up, I was like, man, one day I'm going to own something from them. So it gives me the chance to get out and talk to them and everything else. And then I get to like say, hey, like, what do I have to do to see our lights in your media? Or, you know, what do you want to see from us to get your product in ours? We've done photo shoots, you know, like Steyr. We did one with some Augs not too long ago. I've always wanted to do a snow shoot with Augs.
That's cool.
That all white AUG, because it's just an aesthetically pleasing looking gun.
Dude, I want a fucking AUG. They are very cool. They vibe very hard.
The vibe is there. Like, it's got that AK presence, but it's, you know, it's different. And so that was a bucket list of mine. I got to make it work. And it benefits Cloud, and it benefits those companies. You know, in this world where we are so reliant on social media, but we are all shadow banned to absolute hell.
Oh, dude.
If we don't share this kind of stuff, we don't grow.
Yeah.
So that's been my whole push. We're calling it like industry partnerships is basically what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a dream. It really is. Like, getting to talk to these people, getting to set this kind of stuff up. It's taxing. It's a lot of work. You know, I'm grateful for my girlfriend because, like, I'm gone most of the month. I'm gone. So, you know, if she wasn't down for it, that would suck. But, you know, she's okay. And I get to go off and do these photo shoots or meet these companies and talk to them and push our stuff, and they get to push theirs.
That's actually kind of badass.
Yeah, and I like it.
By the time this comes out, it'll probably be pretty close, but go harass Trent at Stockpile Defense on June 1st.
Yeah, I will be there.
If you can get his gun out of his holster, it's yours.
Yeah, you can have it. Yeah, I will be driving, so I will have it.
See, he said it on the air. It's legally binding.
Well, I don't know. Does Idaho have a stand your ground law?
Yeah. So you just gotta be faster.
I'm quick on a beep, so
yeah.
You know, we'll have a game.
Oh, fuck.
So the way around this, get your large friend to pin him from behind, and you take it out of his holster.
Yeah, because I will not have a JT to give to you at that event, so it's just me.
Fuck. There's no distraction.
Guys, have you ever done the RADS test? I know you've listened to this show. I brought it up a couple times, but always while people were talking. Like our AADS, I know you mentioned your kind of ADHD.
So I did.
I've done it before.
I feel like I have, and I either can't remember it or I've suppressed it. I think I've suppressed it. Yeah, I think I choose to not say that I took it.
I was fairly normal, quote unquote, other than the ultra fixation on something, which is true. Like, if I'm into something, I'm really into something.
I feel that, dude. I will lose sleep over if I'm excited for like a package to show up in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Ordered. Why is it not shipped in here? Like, yeah.
The day that it shows up, it's like, okay, immediately in the car, I'm driving to the range. Like, this is going on right now.
I put it on, I shoot with it, I lose interest in it, and have to find something new.
You need a new dopamine hit. Consume.
Yeah, it just doesn't work anymore. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's
consume.
It's bad. It's really bad.
I'm trying to get out of that like consume mindset. I like buy the one good thing once, cry once, but like I have a turbo addictive personality, and it's probably from that hyperfixation aspect.
The problem with that though is you just keep tracking. Gambling. Yeah. I've gotten to that point where like I'm in that buy once, cry once kind of stage. Everything is just so expensive.
Yeah.
So you're crying a lot.
It's just always tears.
Yeah, you know? I got really into just like eating eggs and ramen, and just like and eggs are actually cheap here somehow. They're not cheap anywhere else.
I just steal them from my neighbors, so they're cheap for me too.
Just clock him over the head. Just.
My gun's better than his. I can steal those. It's fine.
Based.
Paste theft.
Paste theft.
Just no cover up for it. Just straight up theft.
Based.
Commit small crimes.
Yes. It's victimless. It's fine.
Yeah, no, right?
I'm not sure that fits the framing of victimless.
It doesn't violate the nap. It's okay.
Who's taking a nap? Oh Jesus.
Um,
I
yeah.
had a question, and then you completely eroded everything in my brain.
No, my neighbor also grows grows eggs.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where
But,
they come from. The egg tree.
Got an eggplant.
Yeah, it's like an older couple, and they have a sign on their fence that says "Beware, tiny dinosaurs." I think I'm going to start taking their eggs as well. I also have a bigger gun.
Yeah.
Your eggs are eggs.
Our eggs.
Our eggs.
No, you start saying that shit in Idaho,
Yeah.
they will shoot you.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They don't
I'm in Moscow. It's like the one blue place here, so I can basically treat this place like my own personal GTA server.
So it's Moscow, not Moscow.
I've only ever heard it pronounced Moscow. So yeah.
Okay.
That's very Commonwealth of you.
Yeah.
Like Americans
Yeah.
love saying Moscow, and then
Yeah.
like everywhere else, Moscow,
Yeah.
Moscow.
Moscovich.
Yeah. So no, if they've got blue hair or like drive a Prius, you can rob them. If they are dressed like a Mormon or are wearing like a grunt style T-shirt, you'd probably still rob them, but they might have like a Ruger LCP or something.
Hey, you never know. You might get the Dickens treatment.
I could.
Fucking slot you from 40 yards.
Yeah, that was like, what was that? 45
40.
minutes north of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was close. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not local,
Yeah.
but he's Indiana. So
I appreciate that guy. He just kind of like came around, did it, sought the guy, left. Like
yeah, he
no,
did.
no,
He
no
did
further.
work.
Yeah, no
Did work,
elaboration.
disappeared.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not a spokesman for AR 500. Like he just fucking wasted some mass shooter and then carried on with his life and
Yeah.
fucking
Can't
I
buy his
salute
own
you,
little
sir.
tactical kit
Yeah. Fucking God bless.
Yeah, it doesn't
Have
have
a
an
good life,
Olight
dude.
sponsorship.
with a
Yeah.
Glock that he got into a motorcycle wreck with. That thing was fucked up.
Oh, really? Like it was
Really?
fucked
Yeah,
up when he used it?
Yeah, he had been in like a bike wreck like before that, and like it slid across the concrete.
Oh shit! What was it? Was it just like a stock Glock?
Yeah, it was a stock Glock with like half of the rear sight missing from the bike wreck.
What?
Yeah, like
Okay,
I was exaggerating a little, but yeah, it was screwed up.
What a fucking
I
champ.
figured he'd at
Dude's a
least have
champ.
like a red dot.
No, I'm pretty sure it was just a factory like plastic irons, that right out of the box.
What a
Yeah,
fucking
but-
Chad.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
with flyover states. Like,
Yeah.
No,
I mean, he's
They
got
got
his own
shoot- they got
drill named
shooters.
after him now. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I do that. I've failed it.
no, I have to.
Yeah.
It's some humbling shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like
No.
with a red dot, I can do it relatively quickly on like my steel C zone. With
Yeah.
irons, no. Like there's a decent chance I might actually whiff it.
wasn't he like kind of positioned up against a
Yeah, he
pillar
was
or
he
something
was
like that?
barricading. Yeah.
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 But I mean,
Good. I'm
Yeah.
not knocking it at all. It's still a good shot.
Yeah.
it's just we protect our malls. We take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
We don't have anything else here.
Anti-hands Pressels.
So I texted our Jamie being Freedom Visualizations, who
I was like, isn't that me?
oh no now you're a host. So I texted him to find out who that awful company is that does the Cerakote, and he replied Mountainside Outfitters. So I'm gonna look them up.
Just naming and shaming.
Yeah, no,
Put him
fuck
on
'em.
blast.
Dude, I don't even fucking care. Fuck these guys.
What was it? Mountainside.
Mountainside
Surrogate?
Outfitters.
Oh, okay. Honestly, like previously, we've probably boosted the web traffic of people we really shouldn't have boosted.
I'm put money on there's a pistol that's Joker themed or Deadpool themed.
Oh no, dude,
both.
100% there are. They're gun shop in Fordland, Mountainside
Oh.
Outfitters.
Oh, this is incredible! They have a dumpster defender in a coffin. I'll put the link in the chat. Wow, that's incredible! It's called the Sweet Nightmares package.
The Sweet Nightmares package.
You
Oh
would go
my
to
God,
jeez.
fucking jail if you shot someone with that. I don't care how justified the shooting is, you're going to fucking jail.
I want to know why there's so many Jack Skellington stickers on it. Have you ever noticed like there's a weird correlation between like trailer women and
Jack Skellington.
And Jack
they love
Skellington.
that motherfucker.
They love that motherfucker.
It's because he's bony like their meth-addled boyfriend. That's my man.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
My sister
pre-made
lived in a trailer. It
packages.
was really into it.
The gangsta package. Oh, what the fuck? All of these.
Incredible. This is the America I would die for. they have a fuck cancer AR package that's like pink and has like every awful pink patch, like not even cancer related, like every single awful pink patch and accessory you could possibly discover. There are some real, honestly, like, bravo.
What the not today Fed boy, Trump is not guilty package.
Fuck you.
What?
Is that real?
I'll put it in the
chat.
The
is
right
this
now.
real?
This is real. We are giving them so much free advertising, but I don't think any of our listeners do enough meth to buy this. On Credova, it's as low as $81 a month.
The EMT package. We gotta send that to our Childeberg buddy.
Holy shit.
Melon labia, indeed. Wow, there is some real treasures here, gang.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Nathan. This has really
No
brightened
worries.
my day.
It's cheaper than I saw last time I looked. These were like 3 to 5K, but I feel like they didn't move enough to meth addicts, or maybe it's just the summer months.
It's the summer months.
It's the summer slump, guys. It's the guns don't move quite as well, and the meth addicts are all, I don't know, under the bridge or something.
They have a toxic masculinity AR pack.
Like, who buys these? I want to know who the
They're just hitting on all the stereotypes right now. This is awesome.
No fucking way.
What?
Nathan, there's an autism awareness AR.
What? Why don't I own that? Okay, I'm the target market. Put that shit in the... No!
Oh my god.
Oh,
Sergeant Stitch's Armory, the
It's
autism awareness
$4,000.
package. Do it for the kids and the Nathans.
I love the addition of the Lego and the...
Yes, there's Lego. Oh, fuck, this is so good.
What is the red dot that it comes with? I need this gun.
Dude, I think it's just a Vortex, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it.
It might be a Vortex, it might be just like Amazon. I cannot tell, and it does not say.
There is a puzzle piece Punisher patch included.
My god. See post for details, and it does not have it doesn't have any details. It just says package no longer available.
Aww.
Yeah.
What?
But
What?
I don't even think it's Vortex. I think it's like a $50 Amazon clone. Either way, go buy stuff from these guys, I guess. They're great. But don't get a Noveski. Don't get a CAC. Don't get a CAC. I think you go to mountainsideoutfitters.com.
Yeah. Spend your money with a reputable builder.
Exactly.
Good lord. Okay, we gotta get
Yeah,
off
okay,
this.
we gotta get back to the podcast.
It's like a train wreck. I just keep on going, and
I'm
there's just
going
more
down a
and
hole.
more. It's a fucking K-hole of ARs.
I'm surprised. Like, someone posted in the Discord a while ago. I could not find it. I was looking while we were talking, and I asked Freedom Visualizations, and he had it in like 2 minutes.
God, we need to bring that dude on. He is the right kind of autistic for this
he's
show.
very fun. He has. We did a call the other day. He has a very fun accent.
What?
Yeah.
Is he?
Maybe let's censor the word out. I don't think I should dox him, but yes, he is.
Okay, uninvited.
Uninvited.
Never mind. Cut that.
But no, he's a lot of fun.
Anyway, getting back on topic, something else I wanted to kind of ask you guys, as someone who works in a marketing department, one of the joys of being in this industry and kind of being able to provide value through marketing is kind of finding little like tips and tricks that aren't necessarily like an intended feature, but that may be like, maybe something that you could do, that kind of presents a new way to use the product. Is there anything like that with Cloud Defensive? Like, I don't know, just off the top of my head, like any kind of way you could jerry rig like filters, any kind of little tricks you guys have tried internally?
So, I mean, besides the lights being phallic shaped,
that's always a winner.
yeah,
It's always a trick.
Tips or tricks?
I mean, you can hit somebody really hard with an
Yeah, you can
MCH
take it.
studio.
Yeah, you can beat the dog shit out of somebody with one of them. And they're lifetime warranty, so if you somehow break it, hit us up.
Yeah, didn't you replace one for a guy? I swear to God, this isn't an ad, but I feel like it's going to read like an ad. Like someone's house burned down and you replaced it?
Yeah, so it's certain I don't want like people to set their houses on fire if they're going to get a new light out of it. You have homeowners insurance for a reason. We have done that in the past. Like we had recently like a officer involved shooting down in Florida where that officer, his MCH that was on his plate carrier took the round. Like it actually stopped the bullet. Oh, shit. We were so impressed by it. We sent him another light because we're trying to get that one back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want that light. That's cool. I bet if we get it back to him, we swap the battery, it'll still work.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can beat somebody to death with it. As far as like putting a filter over it depends. The problem you run into is like now that we're using LEDs and we're not incandescent, like those old Surefire like filter caps that would flip down.
Yeah,
it'll kill it. You will not get any light through it at all. They're just not the same spectrum. So not that I'm aware of.
Gotcha.
Other than that, like I'm trying to think if there's anything that's just I'm forgetting. I can't think of anything. I mean, they're pretty purpose driven. You could probably use the tail cap.
It'll be a BR problem in post.
I'm sorry, BR. I'm sorry about the mystery pause there. This is why you're normally the button boy.
The button boy.
But yes, buy terrible Cerakoted rifles with Jack Skellington on them. Get a light. Get a good light. Because you should probably see if it's your drunk uncle or, someone you should actually shoot. Maybe you should actually shoot your drunk uncle, but you should know where you're shooting them and why.
It depends on what kind of uncle.
Yeah.
Fuck, are we ending the... Okay, I guess we're ending the show on that.
He said if I talk about this, it's going to be bad, so...
leave that where it is.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for coming on. Seriously.
No, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
You check out Cloud Defensive at your local non-FUD dealer or online, wherever they may be. Cloud Defensive on Instagram, I want to say.
Yeah, Cloud Defensive.
And, really
Instagram, YouTube.
Shadow ban to hell. So
Hell yeah. Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, give us a fucking pistol 8. Okay, bye.